Stop what you're doing and pay attention. What if I told you that the legendary Jim Jones, yes, the dipshit legend, has entirely lost it? This time, it's not a trivial dispute. Rather, it's a full-on, vicious attack on Camron that was captured. On camera, and it's far worse than you could have ever imagined. This isn't just drama, people. This is a scandal with a capital S. Rappers have argued before, but what happened between Jim Jones and Camron is on a whole new level. And believe me, you're not prepared for it. Jim Jones was furious, goes off, on Camron, turning what should have been a polite conversation into a vicious public fight that will leave you stunned. But here's where it gets really crazy. The video of this fight is going viral, and the internet is going right now. But wait, that's not even the shocking part. Jim Jones is arrested just hours after the violence. Yes, you heard me. The police swooped in like it was a scene from a movie. Now, we're left wondering what exactly happened behind those closed doors. This is just another public dispute, or is there something much more sinister going on here? Stay tuned because what I'm about to reveal to you will completely upend your preconceived notions about Jim Jones, and you won't believe the perverted reality that follows. Whether it's his music, outrageous behavior, or feuds, Jim Jones has always been in the news. However, this most recent incident with Camron is unlike anything we've ever seen before. The drama between these two has taken an unexpected turn, and believe me when I say that didn't see this plot twist coming for years. People assumed that the back and forth between Jim Jones and Camron was just old news, something that had been buried for a long time. However, it is evident that this isn't just another small argument between an ex-friend. Rather, it is years of pent-up anger and bitterness that have finally exploded into something much bigger. On the surface, it appeared to be just another argument that, under normal circumstances, could have been handled in private. But we all know that when it comes to the biggest names in rap, this isn't the case. Nothing is kept secret. In a matter of seconds, what began as a peaceful conversation between two former allies descended into a vicious, violent altercation, leaving one man in handcuffs and the other bloodied and bruised. The video has gone viral and isn't just any celebrity brawl. This is the end of an era, a symbolic moment that symbolizes everything that has gone wrong with their relationship over the years. Jim Jones, who has established a reputation for being rough and immovable, is currently at the heart of a "this is where the timing becomes hazy," but here is what we know about the scandal that no one ever anticipated. As part of the illustrious diplomats, Jim Jones and Camron had been in the public eye for years. They were more than just partners, they built an empire together. However, like any high-stakes partnership, things soured, old grudges resurfaced, personal beefs boiled over, and eventually they went from being brothers to sworn enemies. This most recent altercation was just another chapter in their ongoing feud, but this time it went too far. Jim Jones and Camron were allegedly attempting to resolve their issues and possibly even mend their relationship when the altercation broke out during what was intended to be a private meeting. But many sources claim it was never going to happen. In an instant, a brief but vicious altercation turned from a talk into an uncontrollably violent battle. Jim Jones lunged at Camron, knocked him to the ground, and then threw a barrage of devastating punches. Camron was apparently caught completely off guard and attempted to defend himself, but Jim Jones crushed him. This isn't just another celebrity altercation, it's the result of years of animosity, unresolved issues, and all the personal drama that has been simmering beneath the surface for far too long. The worst part is that it was captured on camera, and the footage is all over social media, news outlets, and anything else you can think of. People can't stop talking about it. The so-called tough guy of the rap industry, Jim Jones, is currently at the center of a scandal. The police arrived 2 hours after the altercation, after receiving an anonymous tip that alerted them to the scene. They discovered Jim Jones and Camron in the midst of total chaos, and Jim, who was obviously the aggressor, was arrested immediately on charges of simple assault and battery. However, this is where things get complicated because nothing is ever as straightforward as it seems, especially when it comes to the aftermath. When you're dealing with someone as well known as Jim Jones, this story keeps getting more dramatic, and with every new detail that comes to light, the future of Jim Jones and Camron becomes even more uncertain. What began as a personal dispute has now escalated into something much bigger, involving the disintegration of public personas, business empires, and years of accumulated tension. Not to mention that the media isn't letting this go away anytime soon. As the video of Jim's attack on Camron circulates, the repercussions for Jim's appearance is becoming much more dire. Perhaps the arrest is only the first step. The public's reaction to the damaging video is relentless. Jim has long been known for being a tough guy, but many people are now wondering if he's really the man he's claimed to be for all these years. Is it just a passing error in judgment, or does it indicate deeper problems in his character? His public persona as a controlled, untouchable rapper is rapidly disintegrating, and with each new report, the cracks in his thoughtfully designed facade expands. However, Camron is handling this scenario like a seasoned tactician, and Jim is dealing with the consequences of his behavior. It has been stated that Camron is taking action to make sure he leaves with both a clear conscience and possibly a lot of leverage. Now, it's unclear if he will pursue legal action and file charges, or if he would attempt to use the incident to further dispel rumors that this was all a setup, or could it be that both artists, aware of the influence of media attention, planned this fight to keep their names in the headlines? It's an interesting, well-planned ploy. According to some, it might be a component of a larger game. We're in for even more surprising disclosures. If this is indeed the latest part in the long-running drama that has been the Dipset rivalry, which has always been full of twists and turns. The true narrative may be one of intentional manipulation rather than a simple eruption of wrath. However, Jim's actions have repercussions that go beyond the media. His reputation and business relationships are being seriously harmed by this altercation. If Jim loses important sponsorships or business contacts, the financial consequences could be just as detrimental as the legal ones. Sponsors are definitely keeping a close eye on him and will soon begin to decide whether or not to keep working with him. The consequences. The issue still stands. Will Jim recover from, or will his career come to an end? Meanwhile, both teams are frantically trying to determine what to do next. Jim's team is reportedly contacting media outlets to try to refocus the story, but the public has already seen the footage, and it's difficult to remove. No amount of publicity can fully repair the harm Jim has done to his reputation, and some devoted fans are split after seeing it. The following few weeks are critical as court battles loom and public scrutiny grows. Some people feel betrayed by the man they thought they knew, while others have an outburst due to years of accumulated resentment. Camron and Jim will have to carefully negotiate the minefield they have created for Jim. The question is whether he can save his reputation and career for Camron. It's about taking charge of the story and perhaps establishing himself as the more astute and calculating character in this ongoing drama. We're all just waiting to see how it plays out as Jim Jones's legal team frantically tries to put together a defense. The stakes are extremely high, and the strategy of claiming provocation could be his best bet, but it won't be easy to convince a judge or the media. As the fallout continues, one thing is clear: this story is far from over. The media will keep pushing for more details, the fans will keep debating, and the two men at the center of it all will have to make decisions that could permanently alter the course of their careers. Jury. It is difficult to imagine Jim escaping this situation unscathed because the video evidence shows a man who, regardless of any tension that may have existed between him and Camron, lost control in a way that could have serious legal repercussions. Additionally, Jim's reputation is already at risk, and this legal battle is only the beginning. The outcome of this could have an impact on his career, relationships, and standing in the rap community. In the event that the charges remain more than just a damaged reputation, Jim can lose big commercial opportunities, endorsements, and possibly even his position in the industry. Fans are already split, and the argument over who is at fault gets more heated with each new piece of information that comes to light. Camron, meanwhile, is carefully considering his alternatives. While some claim that he is thinking about making a public statement to correct the record, others argue that he does not want to add fuel to the fire. Maybe he's biding his time, letting public sentiment change in his favor before taking any drastic measures. Whether Camron files charges or not, fans and commentators have been enthralled by the spectacle of this feud, which has already taken place on a large stage, but now is where things start to get interesting. Could this argument serve as the impetus for a more significant shift in the relationship between these two artists? Will this dramatic incident further distance them from one another, or mark the end of their long-running feud? We're all waiting to see how this drama unfolds. But it's obvious that Jim Jones and Camron have set the stage for something even bigger. In the coming weeks, it will be crucial. Jim's legal defense will need to demonstrate that his actions were either justified or provoked to avoid a drawn-out court battle, or worse, jail time. Meanwhile, Camron must decide whether he wants to take advantage of the situation or use the incident to his advantage. Further solidify his position in the spotlight, move on without dragging out the drama, file a lawsuit, or just use the spotlight to reaffirm his position as the situation develops. With all eyes on the industry, could be the starting point for a larger discussion about how conflict is handled in hip-hop. Will it challenge the way artists are marketed with an emphasis on authenticity that occasionally crosses into destructive behavior? There's no denying the impact of this scandal, and it could lead to a change in the perception of what it means to be real in the rap game among fans, industry professionals, and even artists themselves. But even after everything is said and done, the question still stands. Will Jim Jones be able to regain his position, or has his brand been irreparably damaged? His future appears uncertain, but one thing is certain. His actions have set off a chain of events that could permanently alter the course of his career for Camron. The situation will determine his legacy and may present him with an opportunity to reinvent himself, be another chapter in a career that thrives on strategic maneuvers and keeping his cards close to the vest. In any case, the public and industry are watching, and the next chapter in this story is anything but predictable as the hip-hop world changes. What will happen to Jim and Camron next? Will their feud continue, or will it end now? There is little doubt that this battle's aftermath will have repercussions that go well beyond these two artists, making everyone concerned face the real consequences of their behavior. Whether or not legal action is taken, this altercation has undoubtedly restored Camron's reputation in the public eye. However, what does this mean for his future? Will he ride the wave of this controversy into a new phase of his career, or will he let it go and return to his focus on making music? The truth is that this battle will have a ripple effect that goes beyond Jim and Camron. It will shake the entire rap game, opening the door for a much larger conversation about. While some fans continue to hope that Jim will learn from his mistakes and emerge a better man, others are already calling this his downfall. Jim Jones has learned the hard way that even the biggest names in hip-hop can be brought down by their own actions. Hip-hop violence and the personal toll of a culture that thrives on aggression and ego are more than just drama. This is a story that will reverberate through the industry for years to come. What does he do next? Is his kingdom about to collapse, or can he emerge from the ashes? There's no doubt that this story will continue to unfold and will follow every development as it happens. However, we'll leave you with this question. What do you think will happen next? Will Camron view this as a triumph, or will Jim Jones make a comeback? We would love to hear your ideas in the comments section below, as this narrative is only beginning, and we're not slowing down anytime soon. If this drama is making you feel hot, please hit the like button and subscribe. We have more crazy stories to share. Who doesn't enjoy a scandal? You're in for some jaw-dropping scandals and behind-the-scenes tea. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you're always the first to know when we release new content. You should also share this video with your friends so they can join in on the action. Stay with us, as this story isn't about, and we'll be here to provide you with the most recent information as it becomes available. Until the next time, keep asking questions and keep an eye out for the truth that they're seeking to avoid you.